How does the medicines optimization quality framework fit into all this, or all that you've described?
The medicines optimization quality framework was really our first um, sort of look strategically at the role of pharmacy in terms of their impact on medicines in its wider sense. Up until it was published in 2016, really our pharmacy practice policy was very focused on settings. So we would have been focused very much on community pharmacy and what they could do, hospital pharmacy, what they could do, that sort of thing, rather than whole system impact and the whole system and the benefits of adopting a complete approach to medicines optimization. And really, I really do think it was a paradigm shift in how we perceived our value and the role of pharmacists within the health and social care system, in general, as opposed to within our own silos and within our own individual services, which is on reflection, I think that's probably what we had been doing up to then. And also, the difference that made was quite significant because it meant that the impact that we could see for improvement here was whole system, and it became much more relevant to many, many more stakeholders than perhaps our previous focus, which would have been very much on improvements and developments within our own sector.
Useful perspective. You mentioned championing belief and pride in pharmacy. Why is this important?
Well, belief and pride and championing that in the pharmacy profession is really important, I think, for several reasons. And like, firstly, it really enhances our professional identity and purpose and reinforces our important role in healthcare. And that is important to say. It's important for us to say that and for leaders in pharmacy to say that. I think championing that can really be motivational. I find that that has had great value and that pharmacists do need to hear, and the wider pharmacy team, of course, do need to hear that their role is valued, that they're seen, and that their expertise is acknowledged. And also, it advances the profession to others, and that can be by inspiring our young people to enter the profession, and it can also, support our existing workforce as well to think about how they think about themselves in terms of their own development and what opportunities may lie ahead for them. Importantly, I think it also recognizes that we're sort of all in this together and that sometimes working in pharmacy is really hard work. It's challenging. Many people are working with heavy workloads, and we have an increasing level of responsibility that we're expected to carry. And finally, I just think someone and people championing and develop and supporting pride and belief really sends a strong message to other professions as well and the public, around a sense of pride in ourselves and in our professionalism.
In Northern Ireland, you have the Medicines Optimisation and Innovation Centre, MOIC, as it's known. How does this help?
The Medicines Optimisation Centre is an innovation centre that actually sits within our health and social care system, and it's hosted by one of our hospital trusts. And it was established almost 10 years ago now to support the implementation of the Medicines Optimisation Quality Framework. And it's funded by the Department of Health, and it's commissioned by the Department of Health. And that's through myself and my team. And since it has been established, I have to say it has been absolutely instrumental in supporting both policy development and policy implementation for us in medicines optimization and some of the major advances that we've seen in pharmacy practice. I am able to commission we call it the MOIC or the MOIC, fondly. I'm able to commission the MOIC annually to conduct certain pieces of research to support policy development and also to review certain aspects of policy. So, for example, they did some very important work for me post-COVID in relation to reviewing the role of pharmacy during the pandemic. And they also conduct very important research evaluation, of our services. As we are investing in services and running pilots, they will evaluate that and they will get involved right at the beginning in the design of those evaluations with the commissioning teams, and they will make sure we've got really robust evaluation framework. And that's really, really helped us with commissioning, and we've got a very good system for that now that MOIC are embedded into. MOIC have also helped us to secure funding from external sources to health, and this is also really important because it's very, very difficult to get funding into pharmacy all the time. It really is. We have to, I said, it's competitive. We have to put our bids in with everyone else, and sometimes the answer is just simply no. And so we don't really like to take no for an answer. So one of the reasons why MOIC is so useful and why we work so well with them is that they're able to secure funding. It could be from UK research institutions, it could be from European funds, and also through other collaborations. And they've been really successful at that. And that has also, I suppose my final point is that has really allowed MOIC as well to build tremendous collaborations with academia, with industry, and also with our wider health and life science ecosystem in Northern Ireland, and also raise the profile of Northern Ireland internationally and working with some fantastic international partners.
Now, my notes say that your initiatives have resulted in cash releasing savings of £20 million per year, and that gets attention. Could you say a little more about this?
So one of our reform programs under medicines optimization relates to the cost-effective use of medicines. And we have a program that we call the Medicines Optimization Regional Efficiency Program, or MORE for short. And that program over the last 8 years has actually delivered in the region of £200 million of savings in medicines costs for our small health system in Northern Ireland. And that does get a lot of really good attention for pharmacy. And how we've done that is we've designed a program that involves our most senior pharmacists and finance colleagues working together to really understand how cost-effective prescribing policies and their full implementation and consistent implementation, and really robust and consistent approaches to procurement of medicines can deliver efficiencies. Now, I have to say that we built the MORE program on very firm foundations of good a pharmacy clinical effectiveness program. So we have built on that, but we do continue to deliver savings, and it's a very compelling issue to include in your business cases that you can save the system money, and that money is cash releasing as well, which for those of you listening, you'll know. If you know, you know why that's important. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now, cynics might argue that the pre-existing system must have been very wasteful, and so it was easy to show savings. Can you reassure us on that point?
No, this is additional. So we had already, prior to the MORE program, we already had introduced generic prescribing, for example. We'd introduced a lot of standardization around procurement practices, but the MORE program really allowed us to take a step change and create more system-wide buy-in for those policies. And and I think that's why it has continued to deliver consistently.